Madame Binoche. This year you are the official face of the most important film festival in the world. How does this feel for you?
An honor, recognition somehow, but also I feel like I was born here as an actress 25 years ago with Rendezvous, and since then I've been very inspired by the festival and its directors. And I think also I was fed by the quality of the festival. So in a way, I worked with Amos Guitaï, with Sayaz, with Hao Xiaoxian. So I feel that somehow there's a wink that the people of Cannes Festival want to kind of give to me because of my choices, because I've not always taken the easy choices, because they're not always commercial films, and so I see it as a friendship sign.
Was there a specific photo shooting for it?
No, the photo existed already, and I think they were inspired by the brush.
Yeah.
So because then they thought probably they linked it. Somebody had the idea, and then they all agreed, and then they asked my authorization in last fall, and that was that.
Right. You actually learned about this film and the role you would play in it when you were on a trip to Iran, where you were visiting Abbas. Can you imagine the story? As far as I understand, this is when he told you first about the film and about the role you could play. Could you imagine the story the story of your film taking place in the Iran?
No, I would have had to speak Iranian in Farsi. I don't know. I don't think that way. Maybe I would love to shoot in Iran.
So, but it actually now takes place in the Tuscany, and the Tuscany, of course, is a very specific landscape with regard to the light and the art tradition. In which way was it inspiring for the story of the film?
It was, first of all, because it's warm. And when it's warm, there's things coming up. You're more open. You're sweating. You react in a different way. But also, I'm sure there must be some kind of vibrations there, because to have so many saints, to have so many churches, to have so many oils, to have so many greens, to have so many paintings, there must be some kind of earthy stuff happening. So the turmoil of people is there. We were inspired by those stones of those walls. We were inspired by the people in this village, being there with us. They're the extras in the movies, feeding us, at night in restaurants, and wanting to make sure that we were welcoming. You're always inspired by the place, for sure. Yeah.
You actually seem to speak fluent Italian in the film.
Yeah, it's illusion. That's what actors do sometimes.
So you basically learned Italian for the film?
No, my first love was Italian, so I had some Italian in me, but I forgot about Italian because I didn't speak it very much. But I worked, and then it came back.
Yeah, it seems very authentic, I must say. The language, people are actually swapping languages all the time in the film, and there's a constant flow of dialogue and language. I mean, which role does language play in the film?
A lot, I think, because when she feels closer to him, she would speak in his language. When she's at distance, she goes back to mother language, and like, you know, she's, you know, being so angry and frustrated with him in her mother language. It's fascinating the way it changes, actually. As him, it's the same thing. It goes back and forth. It's different. Yeah.
You're the lead in the film, but you don't have a name. I mean, why is it not important? Why doesn't it matter that the woman hasn't got a name?
She has a name. She's Eve. She's the feminine. She's the woman.
But she
at the beginning, when I read the script, I was a little hurt by that. But then I thought, all right. She's elle, she. Which I understand in a way, because it's quite universal. Women had to take care of children, sometimes on their own, and this frustration of being alone is very common to women as well. Or the seduction part of ourselves, wanting to reach the other and not being able to be seen, can be very woman. So there's a moment I felt this is a universal theme that this film is symbolizing. I find it very generous towards women, actually. But I'm not saying it. This woman is him, because he brought up his children on his own. So he had to deal with his two sons having to be the mother. I find it fascinating in a way, and plus he's Iranian, which is even more fascinating. But it's very rare to see a director in movies being so generous with women and making them speak, even though it's part of himself.
Is she actually, I mean, it's called a love story, but is she really in love with him, or is it more about exploring her unknown self in a way, when she gets into these roles and this flirtatious atmosphere?
It's easier to love when you're seen, and she's found it hard to be seen. To be held, to be heard. The senses we have, when we can share them and allow the other to back and forth inside us, then it makes sense. Then love can live, and we feel respected in that way. But when the senses are not being used in a way, it can be very frustrating.
So what is for you the heart of the story, the actual core, for you personally?
It has there's something unreachable in the other, but yet the infinite sensation, feeling we have in our heart is so huge. It's very hard to think that we can share that feeling with someone, but yet sometimes we can. But mostly we go back and forth, we try to reach, and we have those conflicts, misunderstanding, and trying to understand each other, conversations, whatever. It should be very simple, and yet it's not. Is there a solution for that? I don't know. And I don't know if the characters can find it. But there's something in us we feel that is so easy there, infinite, and it's the confrontation between reality and what's inside, which is sometimes difficult to live.
Can I ask one more question?
Sorry, it's over.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
it was
you.
Great.